Niharika with a new lesson for you. Today we are going to look at 8 words that are suffixed with some. Now I always suggest my students that you should always try to enhance your vocabulary by learning English words that are suffixed with different letters. In today's lesson, we are specifically going to look at words that are suffixed with some. How to use them in your conversation, what exactly do they mean? Well, let's have a look. We'll start with the first one, which is burdensome. Yes, something that causes a lot of difficulty, okay, which is really inconvenient. You're having a lot of trouble to do something. Well, that's burdensome, okay? For example, probably it's your job. These days, your job has become very stressful for you. You're having a lot of trouble in performing your tasks. So you can say that these days, my job has become absolutely burdensome. Okay? That's how you would use this word in English. Something that causes difficulty. Moving on to the next English word that is suffixed with some is irksome. Well, sometimes there are things or there are people who are so irritating and so annoying. Like at times their actions just want you to pull your hair out. Yes, that happens to you, right? It happens to me very often. So I end up using the word irksome. Like I do not like to hang out with some friends of mine because their actions are absolutely irksome. Okay, so probably they behave in a very annoying, in a very irritating manner. So use the word irksome. Let's move on to another word here, which is lonesome. Now, lonesome can be used in 2 different ways. The first one is when you feel very lonely because you are away from your loved ones. Yes, there are times when you have no people around you. It's just yourself and you are so lonely. So that feeling of being lonely, that's lonesome. Another way of using this word is when you are talking about a remote place. There are certain areas or localities where not many people live and it just seems to be so remote. So to talk about a remote place, you can use the word lonesome. Okay, so the first meaning is when you are away from your loved ones. And the second way is when you are talking about a remote place. Okay, so if you have to use this in your conversation, how would you do that? Well, when you're away from your loved ones, this is how you can use. Well, I can't live in this house anymore because it's just so lonesome. Like my family is in the US and it's absolutely lonesome. Okay? The other way of using this word is I am not visiting your house. You live in such a lonesome place or lonesome locality. Okay, so probably it's just too dark there are not people around, and it's kind of scary, right? Moving on to the next word, suffixed with some, is toothsome. Okay, probably you are invited for a nice dinner. Yes, and the food that is being served to you is absolutely delicious. You totally love it. Now, when you are appreciating the food that you eat, there are various adjectives that we tend to use. Like the food is absolutely scrumptious. It's delicious. The chicken is awesome. Well, here's another adjective that you can use or enhance your vocabulary in appreciating food. That's toothsome. So you use the word to talk about delicious food. Moving on to the next one, which is threesome. Well, threesome is also used in two different ways. The first one is when a group of three people are engaged in the same activity. So probably there's a presentation that you have to present next week, and there are three people who are working on the same presentation. So you're going to say, well, it's a threesome presentation. Okay, so you need to showcase or you need to present this presentation together, and you'll have three people working on it, so you can use the word threesome. Now, another way of using this is when you are talking about your sexual fantasy. So when three people are engaged in a sexual activity at the very same time, it means that they are having a threesome, right? So two ways. The first one is group of three people working on the same task. And the second one is when you're talking about a sexual activity that involves three people. Okay? Moving on to the next word that you can use, which is suffixed with some, is loathsome. Now, loathsome is used when you are talking about something that is absolutely gross, something that is disgusting. There are certain people who are absolutely disgusting. There are certain things that are gross. So a great word to use in English is loathsome. Like, I'm not visiting that place again because it was so unhygienic and so loathsome. Okay, that's how you can use the word. So when you're talking about something which is really disgusting or gross. Okay, moving on to the word blithesome. You know, there are times when you are just so happy, very thrilled about something. There are times when you have no worries, no stress, no burden. You're absolutely carefree. You use the word blithesome. Well, I feel so blithesome this morning. So which means that I have no worries, no anxiety, no burden, no stress. I feel happy. So rather than just using the word I feel happy, I prefer to use the word blithesome. I feel so blithesome this morning. Right? So the next time you are extremely happy, use this word. And then the last word that I have for you, suffixed with some, is winsome. Well, winsome doesn't really mean that you win something. Well, winsome means when you find someone very attractive in a very innocent manner. So it's like a childlike charm. Like my friend has a winsome smile. So, you know, there's this innocence in her smile. She just seems to be so attractive. Her smile is absolutely beautiful in a very innocent manner. Her smile has that childlike charm. So if you know someone who seems to be very attractive, very pretty, but in a very innocent manner, you can use the word winsome. Okay? So these are the 8 words in English that would help you to enhance your vocabulary. They are suffixed with some, so it gives you a new word to altogether with a new meaning. So start using them, and I'll be back with a new lesson soon. Till then, you take care.